He works tirelessly every day, trying to drown out the relentless ringing with hours of audiobooks, avoiding quiet rooms, and constantly tweaking his sound machines to find the perfect tone. He tries every remedy: supplements, sound therapies, special diets. He sleeps with white noise, fans, machines, even headphones, just as the doctors recommended. But every morning, the ringing is still there. He tries to ignore it, but for my husband Peter, he is a prisoner of the constant noise. A 51-year-old father of two trapped inside his own head. His shoulders slumped as the realization set in. He would live with this maddening sound for the rest of his life. Peter looked up at me, and in tears he uttered 5 words I don't think I'll ever forget. "I can't live like this," he said. "I've never felt so helpless in all my life." I was frustrated with the doctors, their treatments offering no relief. I felt betrayed by the world for letting this noise take over the man I loved, and I was ashamed of my own helplessness to make it better. But I couldn't. I didn't know how. So why am I sharing this story with you today? What happened next is very painful for me to tell, but it forced me to go on a journey that changed everything in my life, and the lives of tens of thousands of men and women around the world. That led to my discovery of a 5-second sound trick from a hidden region in South America. One so powerful it would completely transform my 51-year-old husband's life, provide peace to his mind, and eliminate the relentless noise in his ears. And after years of failed remedies and feeling hopeless, deliver silence overnight, and in just a matter of weeks, erase the constant ringing, buzzing, and whooshing sounds that had stolen his focus, his sleep, and his peace of mind. Going from restless and agitated to calm and serene, relieving him of the overwhelming stress, anxiety, and exhaustion that were ruining his quality of life, while restoring his clarity, energy, and sense of control that he thought he would never have again, leaving his doctor speechless and every tinnitus sufferer desperate to know his secret. You see, despite what you've been told, the real cause of your relentless ringing and buzzing has nothing to do with how much quiet you try to get, how many sound therapies or masking techniques you use, your diet, hydration, or meditation practices, or even aging or genetics. That's what they want you to believe, that you're broken, that it is your fault. But it's not your fault. Instead, it's all down to this: a dangerous nerve disruptor hiding in your auditory system right now. It is forcing your brain to misfire signals and amplify noise to unbearable levels. Scientists have discovered this disruptor affects every man and woman, especially those over 40 years of age, who find it impossible to escape the constant ringing. And according to groundbreaking research by a leading team in auditory neuroscience, it is the real root cause of tinnitus, creating a silent epidemic across the globe. But fear not, by using my discovery of this simple, forbidden 5-second sound trick, which I'm about to reveal on this short page, known only to a close-knit community in a secluded South American region, you can quickly target this dangerous nerve disruptor and stop the endless ringing in your ears. A truth hidden by the tinnitus relief industry, whose entire business relies on you never finding true silence. And yes, this discovery has nothing to do with sound therapy, noise-canceling machines, restrictive diets, or even expensive medications and invasive procedures. Instead, it's just this simple 5-second sound trick done once a day. Peter still went about his normal life, enjoying the simple pleasures like family dinners, quiet evenings, and his favorite music. In fact, reconnecting with these moments is encouraged. This 100% safe and natural 5-second ritual that transformed my husband's life and gave him back his peace, clarity, and focus is something too important to hide. And until now, that's been the problem. This simple trick has been right under our noses and been kept from us by the folks we trust to help us heal. But not anymore. Because in the next 3.5 minutes, I'm going to share with you why everything you thought you knew about tinnitus relief is flat out wrong. You are going to be filled with shock when you hear an insider from the hearing health industry break his code of silence and reveal the 3 biggest tinnitus relief lies perpetuated by doctors and audio specialists around the world. And the real reason why every sound therapy or masking device you try may work temporarily, but will always fail. I will reveal the identity of the hidden nerve disruptor, the real cause of your relentless ringing and buzzing, and the clinically proven, ancient 5-second sound trick that you can do tonight to tackle this disruptor, which will, while you are sleeping this very night, start restoring silence and calm, and support your auditory system, mental clarity, and overall peace of mind. Plus, all the peer-reviewed studies that prove how this works. The truth is, you and your doctors simply do not know about this simple, all-natural, and unconventional breakthrough. It is so effective that it's already worked for over 102,657 people. And this number is steadily increasing. I even used this method myself, and now for the first time in years, I can sit in a quiet room without feeling like my head will explode. I feel at peace. Laura B. rarely left her home for fear that the ringing in her ears would overwhelm her in public, or that she wouldn't hear conversations clearly. Skeptical, she decided to try this sound trick for herself. Within a few weeks, she experienced a dramatic reduction in the ringing, and now enjoys going out with friends and even attending live events, stress-free. I felt like such a burden to my family, but now they love having the old me back. Robert H., a 59-year-old retired contractor from Dayton, Ohio, tried everything from medications to expensive hearing aids with no success. I couldn't believe it when my grandson Liam asked me, "Grandpa, why do you keep saying what all the time?" I had to do something when I heard about your sound trick and verified all your research. I knew I had to give it a shot. The ringing has faded so much it feels like I've got my life back. I sleep better, I feel calmer, and I can finally focus on the things I love. Angela Kay said, "Ever since using the sound trick every day, I'm still doing everything I love, but now in complete silence. I feel free and in control of my life again. Every day my inbox is full of new success stories from people who have had amazing results just like these. And just as I can promise the sun will rise tomorrow morning, so can I promise this will work for you too. Whether you're male or female, 25 or 75 years old, whether you've been dealing with tinnitus for a few months or several decades, and have tried every sound therapy, hearing aid, or home remedy available, or simply are worried about your peace of mind and quality of life. You might not believe me yet, and that's okay. Skepticism is natural. But if you're ready to uncover the real truth about finally finding silence, you're in the right place. It's absolutely crucial that you keep watching until the very end, while you still have the chance, because I honestly don't know how much longer I'll be able to keep this presentation online. In the US alone, the tinnitus relief industry is worth billions of dollars, pushing expensive sound therapies, white noise machines, and ineffective supplements. And the tinnitus relief industry is scared, because what I'm about to reveal could dismantle their business model overnight. The very same cash cow that will never help you find silence and peace, but keep you a customer for life. The last thing they want is for you to see what I'm about to show you. This information could change your life, or the life of someone you love. So, listen up, because we don't have much time. Today, I'm offering you the chance to effortlessly silence the constant ringing in your ears, to never worry about sleepless nights or the stress of relentless noise, to never worry about how tinnitus might rob you of moments of joy or connection with your loved ones, to never worry about people misunderstanding your struggle or dismissing your pain, to be free of the mental burden, anxiety, and frustration caused by the endless noise. Instead, you find comfort in silence, peace in your own mind, and joy in every quiet moment. You regain your focus, your patience, and your ability to enjoy life's simple pleasures without distraction. You support your overall well-being, improve your sleep quality, and restore your energy for the things you love most. And you feel calmer, happier, and more in control of your life than you have in years, maybe even decades. It's time to free yourself from the prison of tinnitus once and for all. Does that sound good to you? So, close the door, get a pen and paper, and make sure you stick this page out until the very end, because I promise you, you can silence the constant ringing in your ears with nothing more than this simple, once-a-day, 5-second sound trick. Yes, it really is that easy. It's time I introduced myself properly. Hello, my name is Emily Clark. I'm no doctor, I'm no scientist. I'm no guest lecturer at any prestigious university. You know what I am? I'm you, a real person. I'm a 42-year-old school teacher, and I live with my husband David and our 2 kids in Austin, Texas. I've dedicated my life to helping others learn and grow, guiding them through challenges and uncertainties. But I know what it feels like to lose control. The same way an unexpected storm can upend your day, your body can too. And that's what happened to David. David's story is one that is deeply personal and unsettling, but it may feel familiar to you. It began about 3 years ago when he started noticing a faint ringing in his ears after a stressful week at work. At first, we thought it was temporary, maybe stress or a side effect of his noisy job. We were your average couple in our early 40s, juggling kids, work, and life, while taking our health for granted most days. David had always been sharp and energetic, the kind of person who could focus on anything and get it done. His ability to tune into the smallest details was one of the things that made me fall in love with him. But as the ringing grew louder, it began to interfere with his work and his sleep. He became irritable and withdrawn. Simple conversations were harder to enjoy, and the quiet moments he once cherished turned into torment. Every time he sat down, holding his head in his hands, I could see the frustration and helplessness weighing on him, and it broke my heart. David went to see Dr. Evans, who was very concerned about his tinnitus, and warned us that we needed to act before it deteriorated even further, or worse. So surprise, he recommended sound therapy and masking devices, and although we didn't realize it at the time, this moment would mark the beginning of a years-long struggle. Because after the initial hope and excitement with every new remedy, came the crushing disappointment when it would inevitably fail. And the ringing returned louder than ever. David tried everything to silence the noise. Sound machines, supplements, meditation, noise-canceling headphones, even acupuncture. We spent thousands on audiologist appointments, specialized devices, and countless therapies that promised relief, but delivered none. And I'm not going to tell you that these strategies didn't help for a while. They did. But like so many people, David couldn't sustain them forever. And every time the ringing persisted, he grew more frustrated and defeated, and the hope of silence felt further away. As the months went by, David's energy, focus, and mood declined rapidly. You see, I know exactly what you are going through. The frustration, the sleepless nights, the endless search for relief. I understand, because I saw David live these struggles every day. But still, we trusted the doctors. And although David's sound therapies and devices were supposed to help, the ringing only grew louder and more invasive, overpowering every attempt at relief. And the more the noise persisted, the more withdrawn and despondent he became, and the further away he drifted from the man I had fallen in love with. On top of it all, our connection as a couple had completely faded. We found ourselves slipping into a monotonous cycle of work, trying to manage the ringing and collapsing into bed, feeling endlessly drained, frustrated, and distant from each other. Until one night, with David asleep upstairs, I found myself scrolling through social media, watching videos of people living vibrant, peaceful lives. I felt so guilty, but I couldn't stop comparing. I wondered why I didn't feel connected to David the way I once did. I wished to God I could, but the constant strain of his struggle had built a wall between us. I felt so bad that I put down my phone and went upstairs to check on him, to remind him that I was here, no matter what he was going through. Leave me alone. I'm broken and I'm always going to be broken. Just let me be, he said when I tried to comfort him, to hold him, to show him he wasn't alone. Seeing him withdraw, holding his head in frustration as the noise overtook him, I felt powerless and weak in a way I never thought I could. That night, I lay awake for hours next to David, staring at the ceiling and feeling my heart constrict in my chest, imagining life without my husband. I had vowed to stand by him, so I made a promise to myself. I was going to do everything in my power to help him overcome this debilitating noise, whatever it took. I was going to find a way to bring him peace, to help him love life again. And I was going to do it without more ineffective sound therapies or expensive devices. After all, the reason for most of his struggles over these years had been because of the treatments that promised relief, but only added to his frustration. Because that's when his hope really began to crumble. The thought of losing David to this endless battle broke my heart. He was my anchor. So that night I got on my laptop when he'd fallen asleep and began my mission. I started my research with the auditory system. You see, deep within the brain lies a region responsible for processing sound signals, known as the auditory cortex. You may have already heard of how it helps us interpret and enjoy the sounds of life. It controls how we perceive and respond to noise, filtering out unnecessary background sounds. When it functions normally, we experience calm and clarity in our hearing. But problems arise when something called hyperactive signal interference happens. Take a look at this concept. I'm sure this experience sounds familiar. The brain misinterprets harmless electrical signals as sound, amplifying them into relentless ringing or buzzing. It is here when naturally your brain should filter out these signals and maintain peaceful silence. letting you enjoy quiet moments and focus with ease. But instead, hyperactive signal interference occurs. As your brain struggles to filter signals, it continuously amplifies noise, leaving you with a constant and maddening sound. Instead, you continue to hear the ringing grow louder and louder, even though you try every remedy. Until at the end, you've spent another sleepless night. You've tried masking it with white noise, you feel exhausted, you feel frustrated, but you still don't feel any relief or peace. You've gone from feeling hopeful to feeling trapped and overwhelmed. And a short time later, the cycle starts all over again. This is the exact cycle that David had been in for years. And the same cycle you and any other man or woman struggling with tinnitus are in right now. That's a scientific fact. You see, it's not your fault you turned to countless therapies or spent hours trying to distract yourself. You don't lack determination. It's all down to your brain's inability to filter out the noise. But what causes hyperactive signal interference? Well, I couldn't find a single precise and definitive answer on exactly why it happens in the first place, and why this has become such a widespread issue in recent decades. Look at this data. Cases of tinnitus were significantly lower just 30 years ago. Dr. Evans himself stated that the medical industry isn't exactly sure where this hyperactive signal interference originates, only why it is bad for us, and that it is increasing at an alarming rate. A recent report published by a leading auditory health journal predicts that over 50 million Americans will struggle with chronic tinnitus if nothing changes. You may be thinking that it's because of exposure to loud noises, right? Well, remember that cycle of signal interference. Hyperactive signal interference causes the brain to misfire signals and therefore amplify noise, not the other way around. So, if the relentless ringing was simply a symptom of hyperactive signal interference, what was the cause? How did David develop this condition before all the frustration and sleepless nights began? For weeks, I devoured everything the library had to offer. I read through hundreds of dusty old medical journals. I visited universities, spoke to audiologists, neurologists, alternative therapists, and even practitioners of ancient sound therapies for help. But I found nothing groundbreaking, just the same old tired advice of sound masking, white noise machines, and meditation. Advice that you or any other person struggling with tinnitus listening to my story today has heard a million times before. I felt like I'd hit a brick wall, and after weeks of research, I was nowhere. Until I'd left online posts on forums and message boards requesting any information that could help David. I spoke with a man I'll call Mark, who has asked to remain anonymous to protect his identity. For 8 years, Mark had been working at one of the largest hearing health companies in the United States, a business generating over $800 million annually. You know, the kind that sells high-end sound machines, hearing aids, and tinnitus masking devices every month. Over our conversation, he revealed to me the 3 biggest and closely guarded lies of the tinnitus relief industry. And it was because, as he explained, the entire industry was an orchestrated deception, raking in billions annually not by providing true relief, but by trapping people in an endless loop of short-term fixes and mounting frustration. As Jonah explained, the moment you experience that relentless ringing or buzzing, you're encouraged to try expensive sound therapies, masking devices, or costly supplements. Sound familiar, right? But the big problem here is that from this moment on, your tinnitus and peace of mind are destined to only get worse, not better. After all, when was the last time you used one of these remedies and found complete, lasting silence? It's never happened, right? And this is the big tinnitus lie. Number 1, sound therapy helps you find silence. In a comprehensive study carried out by researchers at Stanford University, involving over 3,100 tinnitus patients, researchers found that masking techniques and sound therapies provided only temporary relief and often led to heightened frustration and dependence over time. That's because the brain adapts to masking sounds by amplifying the original tinnitus signal, a phenomenon known as auditory overcompensation. The more masking therapies you use, the more your brain trains itself to focus on the internal noise. Sure, you may feel a brief reduction in intensity, but studies show over 80% of patients report their tinnitus worsening after prolonged use of masking devices. And in fact, over 50% of patients experience higher levels of anxiety and stress within months of starting these therapies. Why? Because relying on sound therapies or masking devices doesn't address the root cause of your tinnitus. It only treats the symptoms, leaving the real problem unsolved. The relentless ringing persists. Worse still, prolonged use of these therapies has been linked to heightened frustration, increased anxiety, and dependence on ineffective solutions. To truly achieve silence and find lasting peace, you have to go after the root cause, hyperactive signal interference, not just mask the noise and remain a prisoner to its torment. That's why sound machines and tinnitus supplements are such a cash cow for the hearing health industry. Because you are still trapped in the hyperactive signal interference cycle. Hearing health companies profit most by keeping people locked in this loop for life. Trying device after device, therapy after therapy. It made complete sense. That's exactly what David had been experiencing for years. And according to a recent study, the average American spends over $90,000 in their lifetime on treatments and remedies for tinnitus. And that's just one person. It's a massive industry, and one they'll go to great lengths to protect, because their business model would crumble if the world discovered they could break free and achieve silence naturally, without their expensive sound therapies or masking devices. Next, Mark revealed big tinnitus lie number 2. This one surprised me. Tinnitus is caused by ear damage. Mark explained that while physical damage to the ears, such as from loud noises, is often blamed for tinnitus, it's only part of the story. Recent breakthroughs in neuroscience reveal that tinnitus stems primarily from the brain's auditory processing system. Researchers have found that the brain rewires itself after exposure to prolonged noise or stress, creating phantom sounds that have no external source. This phenomenon, known as neuroplasticity gone wrong, is a major cause of tinnitus. In a groundbreaking study published in Nature Neuroscience, scientists demonstrated that over 70% of chronic tinnitus sufferers had heightened activity in the auditory cortex even without ear damage. This finding shifts the focus from the ears to the brain as the primary culprit. In conclusion, while protecting your ears is important, addressing the brain's hyperactive auditory signals is the only way to achieve lasting relief from tinnitus. And with that, Mark revealed the big tinnitus lie number 3. Tinnitus is permanent, so can the relentless ringing in your ears really never be cured? Believe it or not, recent studies have shown that tinnitus is not a life sentence. Groundbreaking research by auditory neuroscientists has revealed that the brain's plasticity, its ability to rewire itself, can be harnessed to reduce and even eliminate tinnitus over time. For years, the hearing health industry has perpetuated the belief that tinnitus is irreversible, keeping sufferers dependent on expensive devices and temporary solutions. But scientists have proven that through targeted brain retraining exercises and specific natural interventions, the auditory cortex can relearn how to filter out hyperactive signals. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, but Mark was absolutely right. So, if you thought that masking devices or endless therapies were your only options, or that you'd have to learn to live with it, think again. They are not the true solution to your tinnitus. I know this because in just 1 minute I will reveal to you the real little-known cause of tinnitus, as proven by numerous clinical studies. A dangerous neural disruptor active in every person who struggles with tinnitus, as well as the simple 5-second sound trick you can do right now to target this disruptor and stop the endless ringing. The truth? Tinnitus can be addressed. Your constant ringing, buzzing, and whooshing can be fixed. It is not a life sentence. You see, after speaking to Mark, I kept wondering, if sound therapies and expensive devices had done nothing and never would do anything to help David's tinnitus, then what could? If the top 2 things that doctors and the entire hearing health industry had told us would help did nothing for his ringing or tackle its root cause, neural disruption, then what would? Sadly, Mark didn't have the answer. And I was close to giving up, and that's when I discovered something that chilled me to the bone. I'm hesitant to share this with you, but I feel I must. One night, while using David's laptop, I stumbled upon some of his search history. How to escape the endless noise, read one. Solutions to make the ringing stop permanently, read another. It broke me. I had no idea David was feeling so hopeless. I wanted to help him so desperately, but I didn't know where to start. That night, lying awake in bed, the weight of his struggle felt unbearable. I kept asking myself how I had missed the depth of his pain. And just as I thought I'd lost all hope, an unexpected message lit up my screen. It was from an old friend, someone I hadn't spoken to in years. Little did I know that message would set me on a path that would change David's life forever. I'd been invited to participate in an educational exchange program in a small, remote village in the Philippines. In recent years, the area had faced a crisis in literacy rates, and they were seeking innovative teaching techniques to better support their students. They needed someone with classroom experience to lead workshops for their teachers and with my background, I was thrilled to be considered. Given David's condition and the state of our family, the timing couldn't have been worse, or so I thought. But with no other option, I set off for the Philippines, leaving David's brother to help support him while I was away. I hated leaving him behind. But as it turned out, the people I would meet on that trip would provide the answer to my prayers. In the most unexpected way, after a long and exhausting journey, I arrived at the small village school and met the group of teachers I'd be working with. A passionate and resourceful team dedicated to improving education in their community. Among them was Mateo Rivera and 4 other locals who hailed from a small, secluded village in the Andes. As the weeks went on, I began to notice something extraordinary about these 5 men who were all in their mid-60s. They were vibrant, full of energy, and remarkably healthy. Every dinner we shared, they ate modest portions of the local fare but never went back for seconds. No desserts, no late-night snacks. Despite the abundance of tempting dishes like fried empanadas, sugary pastries, and flavorful stews. Back home, I couldn't imagine such restraint. We often overindulge even when we're full, unable to resist just one more bite. Curious, I pulled Mateo aside one evening and asked him, "How do you manage to eat so little and stay so healthy?" I opened up about my husband's struggles, his despair, and how lost I felt trying to help him. "If you know anything that could make a difference, I beg you, please share it," I pleaded. Mateo gave me a kind smile, placed a hand on my shoulder, and told me to wait where I was. A few minutes later, he returned with a small bundle wrapped in cloth and unfolded it to reveal what looked like a collection of dried roots, leaves, and seeds, alongside a handwritten note in his native language. "What is this?" I asked, my curiosity piqued. "The answer you've been looking for," he said, his voice calm but certain. "Our strength and vitality come from these ingredients," he continued. "On our island, tinnitus is virtually unheard of." He pointed to the note. "This recipe has been passed down in my family for centuries. Prepare this mixture and your husband will find relief." With that, Mateo nodded, placed the bundle in my hands, and returned to his work. Only then did I recall seeing Mateo and his friends each morning, carefully measuring out a small dose of a powdered substance and mixing it into their tea. I had asked what it was, but they had laughed, saying it was their secret medicine. Now, with this bundle in my hands, I knew I had stumbled onto something extraordinary. The moment I returned home to the U.S., I began translating the note and researching the ingredients Mateo had given me. The first ingredient was something called neurocalming vine. What could this be? I wondered. We actually know it as beet juice root extract here in the U.S. According to research, beet juice supports circulatory health and enhances oxygen flow to the brain, which is crucial for calming overactive auditory signals. But more importantly, it helps mitigate the oxidative stress within neural pathways, a critical factor exacerbating tinnitus triggers. Now stay with me here, because this is where it gets very interesting. Oxidative stress triggers can be found in many everyday sources, from processed sugars and caffeine to air pollutants and prolonged stress. They create a perfect storm for neural interference. Scientists are only just beginning to understand why environmental toxins like neural excitotoxins are so harmful. It's believed once you come into contact with them, they overstimulate the brain's auditory processing centers and disrupt its natural balance. And I wasn't sure what that had to do with tinnitus until I began to search deeper and struck gold. A study by a team at the Department of Neuroscience in Ontario, Canada, less than 2 years ago, with barely a single view, found that when exposing neural pathways to even trace amounts of excitotoxins, far lower than levels encountered in daily life, these pathways became hyperactive, misfiring signals and amplifying noise perception dramatically. Incredible. Scientists are beginning to uncover the full scope of neural excitotoxins' impact. These compounds are present in artificial sweeteners, processed snacks, and even some over-the-counter medications, subtly accumulating in the brain over time. A groundbreaking study in 2020, published in the Journal of Neurobiology, demonstrated that these excitotoxins overstimulate auditory neurons, leading to hyperactive signal interference. This condition misfires the brain's natural noise filtering mechanisms, amplifying the internal ringing experienced by tinnitus sufferers. In fact, leading organizations such as the National Institute on Deafness and the World Health Organization have identified neural overstimulation as a growing factor in the global rise of tinnitus symptoms. With numerous studies from the Journal of Auditory Science and Hearing Health Research, it's now undeniable that these excitotoxins are driving the worsening of tinnitus in millions worldwide. What about neural excitotoxins, compounds commonly found in artificial sweeteners, processed snacks, and even some medications, which overstimulate the brain's auditory centers? Well, a study published in Neurobiology of Hearing linked excitotoxins to hyperactive auditory signals and amplified tinnitus symptoms. In fact, recently the National Institute on Deafness, the World Health Organization, and several leading auditory health journals declared neural overstimulation as a critical factor in the global rise of tinnitus. Since then, study after study, like those published in the Journal of Auditory Science and Hearing Health Research, Hearing Research Quarterly, even high-profile medical forums, have linked, without a doubt, neural excitotoxins to the worsening of tinnitus symptoms. We now know it's not because of loud environments or how much rest you get, nor your age, nor genetics, or hearing loss alone. Your auditory health has been under attack because of the invisible neural excitotoxins overwhelming your brain right now. These compounds are disrupting your brain's natural ability to filter sound, causing chaos in every auditory pathway. Well, what if we just moved to a quieter location to escape them? But neural excitotoxins are everywhere. They're in artificial sweeteners, processed snacks, certain medications, and even the air we breathe. In fact, studies show the USA has one of the highest levels of excitotoxins in commonly consumed products worldwide. Shocking. Remember this graph? We see a dramatic rise in tinnitus cases starting around the 1980s. Now look at this graph of excitotoxin exposure over time, published by researchers at the Auditory Health Institute. Look familiar? Notice the sharp increase in excitotoxin prevalence matches exactly when tinnitus cases skyrocketed across the globe. The researchers at the Auditory Health Institute concluded that the level of neural excitotoxins in our environments directly correlated with the rise in tinnitus cases, and that neural excitotoxins were the real reason for the global tinnitus epidemic. Finally, it all made sense. Simply put, these harmful compounds are overstimulating your brain, disrupting its ability to process sound, and creating the relentless ringing you can't escape. And guess what? While the levels of excitotoxins in the US were among the highest globally, I discovered that certain isolated regions, like Mateo's village in the Andes, had some of the lowest rates of tinnitus worldwide. It must be because of these traditional plant ingredients they consume. It would explain why Mateo and his friends, even though they worked in challenging environments, were free from tinnitus and enjoyed crystal clear hearing. As I finished reading, I felt like I wanted to cry, not because I was sad, but because for the first time in years, I felt hope that I could actually help my husband and help us reclaim our life and our relationship. But don't go out and stock up on apple cider vinegar just yet. You see, next on Mateo's list of tinnitus fighters was beet juice powder, which is shown to support healthy blood flow to the brain, improving auditory clarity. And then there was pomegranate juice powder, which is packed with antioxidants that combat oxidative stress, a major contributor to neural excitotoxins, and iodine, which supports thyroid health and contributes to the brain's ability to regulate sound processing effectively. Plus a whole host of other natural ingredients like vitamin B6, an essential nutrient that enhances neurotransmitter function and auditory system health. Vitamin B12, which supports neural repair and prevents the worsening of auditory signal disruption. Folate, crucial for reducing inflammation and promoting healthy blood flow in auditory pathways. Beta-carotene, a powerful antioxidant that protects neural tissues from oxidative damage. These natural ingredients have been scientifically shown to address the root causes of hyperactive signal interference in the brain, helping to restore auditory balance and peace of mind. In the end, Mateo's recipe included 11 natural ingredients, clinically proven to combat neural excitotoxins that disrupt auditory pathways and worsen tinnitus. These ingredients supported the brain's ability to filter out hyperactive signals, while also promoting overall health by enhancing blood flow, reducing inflammation, and protecting neural tissues. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Here were completely natural ingredients that had been scientifically proven to target the root cause of tinnitus, yet not a single doctor or the hearing health industry had ever mentioned them to David. All they wanted to do was keep selling him expensive sound machines, therapies, and masking devices. I was now more determined than ever to not only help David find peace, but to help millions of others too. But I faced a major challenge. It took countless hours just to locate all the ingredients from Mateo's recipe, some of which were incredibly rare and difficult to source. The cost was staggering, running into the thousands just to secure enough for a small trial batch. The preparation was equally daunting. Extracting each plant's essence, drying them to perfection, and grinding them into precise ratios required meticulous effort. By the end of it, I barely had enough of the mixture to last a few days, and I was left physically and emotionally drained. It finally made sense why Mateo and his community treated this blend with such reverence and guarded it so carefully. I needed to rethink my strategy. I realized that if I could partner with a reputable team of specialists and collaborate with a state-of-the-art facility, I could take Mateo's concept and turn it into something truly groundbreaking. Instead of following Mateo's manual methods, I envisioned developing an accessible, science-backed solution. This would ensure David, and others like him, could benefit from this ancient wisdom enhanced by cutting-edge innovation. As fate would have it, I met Dr. Elena Martinez, a distinguished auditory neuroscientist with over 20 years of experience. Dr. Martinez had dedicated her career to studying the impact of neural interference on auditory health. Elena was instantly captivated by Mateo's recipe and its potential. Her own father had struggled with tinnitus for decades, fueling her personal and professional passion for finding a solution. After reviewing the blend's ingredients, she said, "This is an incredible starting point, but there's room to amplify its effects. With targeted enhancements, we could develop a solution capable of restoring auditory balance more effectively than anything on the market." Dr. Martinez worked tirelessly, incorporating additional nutrients backed by extensive research. Ingredients like vitamin B12 for neural repair, pomegranate extract for combating oxidative stress, and iodine for enhancing auditory signal clarity were added to the mix. After months of intense testing and innovation, we finally developed a formulation that was not only highly effective, but also simple to incorporate into daily life. Crafted into delicious, easy-to-chew gummies, this blend represents the ultimate harmony between ancient remedies and modern convenience, delivering powerful benefits in a form that's both effective and enjoyable. We all know that person who seems immune to tinnitus, despite being exposed to noisy environments. It's not because they're special. They've just avoided neural excitotoxin overload, for now. You see, neural excitotoxins affect everyone differently depending on lifestyle, diet, and genetics. That's why some people are more susceptible to auditory disruptions while others are not. In fact, studies show that women are often more affected by auditory sensitivity than men due to hormonal interactions with neural pathways. The human body wasn't designed to process or defend against these artificial compounds, which have only become pervasive in the last few decades. The only way to address this is with the natural plant-based solutions we've uncovered. "I'd love to help," she said. So Dr. Elena took Mateo's blend of 7 traditional ingredients and meticulously tested countless formulations, focusing on their impact on neural excitotoxins and auditory health. After 6 months of rigorous research, Dr. Elena uncovered the ideal combination. In addition, she discovered 11 additional nutrients that could amplify the recipe's efficacy even further. So now you benefit not only from the core ingredients, beet juice powder, pomegranate extract, iodine, folate, vitamin B6, and beta-carotene, among others, but also newly researched ingredients like vitamin B6, vitamin B12, iodine, folate, pomegranate juice powder, and beet juice powder. Individually, these ingredients provide targeted support, but when combined and consumed regularly, they work synergistically to deliver profound benefits. This final formula included these key plant extracts and nutrients, offering a comprehensive approach to combat neural excitotoxins and improve auditory health while supporting overall well-being, Dr. Elena shared. This new breakthrough addresses the root cause of tinnitus, neural excitotoxins. When you neutralize and target these disruptors, you can naturally support your brain's auditory balance, calm the hyperactive signals, and restore clarity. This means no more relentless ringing, improved focus, and a return to peaceful, uninterrupted moments. Nothing like this had ever been attempted before in the field of auditory health, and I literally couldn't wait to see the results. And the best part was, because the proprietary blend is 100% natural, and the facility where we crafted our gummies is FDA registered and GMP certified. We didn't have to wait for approval. We just needed one person willing to give the protocol a try. And naturally, that person was David. It took all the resources we had to create a small batch of gummies for David to take daily with a glass of water. To be honest, I could see how skeptical David was the first time I handed him a glass of water and one of the gummies. He looked at me as if I were grasping at straws. Still, I had to convince him to stick with it every single day. He thought it was just another failed experiment. After 7 days, he mentioned feeling slightly clearer-headed, but we didn't think much of it until later that evening when something extraordinary happened. We were sitting together after dinner, and for the first time in months, David turned to me and said, "The ringing seems quieter." What? I hadn't heard him say that in years. We both looked at each other in shock, then burst into relieved laughter. Remember how tinnitus is tied to hyperactive signal interference? Since David had started calming these neural signals, the relentless noise in his head began to fade, and his peace of mind returned like sunlight breaking through storm clouds. And he didn't have to give up his favorite quiet moments or music. In fact, he felt calmer and more focused with every passing day. He didn't force himself to stop masking the noise with external devices. He didn't need to. For the first time in years, his mind was naturally quiet and at ease, the way it was always meant to be. It was as if the constant ringing had been switched off, and each day following felt like a gift. Every evening, David would sit in the garden, savoring the silence he had missed for so long. But the best moment was yet to come. Day 24 was a calm Sunday morning, and I'll never forget it. I woke to the sound of David's joyful exclamation, calling me into the living room. I ran in to find him smiling, holding his favorite pair of headphones. "Listen," he said, handing them to me. "It's clear again. The music. I can hear every note just as it should be." Tears welled up in his eyes. Tears not of frustration or despair, but of hope and joy. And from that moment on, the noise that had haunted him for years was finally gone. David was back to the vibrant, peaceful man I had fallen in love with, and our home was filled with quiet, shared moments once more. Every single trace of David's relentless tinnitus had disappeared, and every day he felt a little more clarity, peace, and calm return to his mind. He was so excited to share with me the joy of silence he hadn't experienced in years. Plus, he had so much more energy. He was sleeping better, and his focus and patience had improved dramatically. Even his confidence seemed stronger, fuller, and more resilient than it had been in a long time. His fears of never escaping the ringing had vanished. When we saw Dr. Evans, he couldn't believe his ears. He was speechless that David had achieved such incredible results naturally, safely, and without invasive procedures. That evening, we packed away all the sound machines, masking devices, and expensive supplements that had failed him. What a liberating feeling. It was like a time machine taking us back years before this struggle began. But the most amazing thing was watching David embrace his peace of mind again. Seeing the tension that had gripped him for so long finally melt away. Until one day, I came home and saw him sitting in the living room, headphones on, smiling as he listened to his favorite music, free from distraction. I was hesitant to interrupt at first, afraid I'd break the moment. But when I sat beside him, he turned to me, smiled, and took my hand. "It's like I have my life back," he said softly. That night, we shared a peaceful evening together, laughing and reminiscing in a way we hadn't in years. As we sat close, holding hands, I couldn't stop smiling. I'd done it. I'd helped David reclaim his life. David had broken free from the cycle of hyperactive auditory signals. He was back in control of his peace of mind. Neither of us could believe it. I was desperate to get the formula out to as many people as possible, but Dr. Elena cautioned me that one success wasn't proof that it worked for everyone. And she was right. It may have worked for David, but would it work for others struggling with tinnitus? I wanted to see if the formula could make a difference for people experiencing the most severe cases of relentless ringing and hyperactive auditory signals. So I turned to TikTok. I created short, engaging videos explaining the science behind the formula and how it had transformed David's life. Within days, the videos started gaining traction, receiving thousands of views, comments, and shares. People from all over reached out, sharing their own struggles with tinnitus and their desperation for relief. I invited those who fit the criteria, over 40 years old, living with persistent tinnitus for at least a year, and unable to find relief with conventional treatments, to try the formula. In less than a week, 45 individuals signed up. all dealing with varying degrees of tinnitus severity, eager to be part of the trial. The results were far beyond anything we could have imagined. Without exception, and within just a few weeks, all 45 volunteers reported dramatic improvements in their auditory clarity and reductions in ringing. The average reduction in perceived tinnitus intensity was over 75%. Energy levels soared, mental clarity returned, sleep quality improved dramatically, stress levels plummeted, relationships with loved ones strengthened. Many participants reported experiencing peace and quiet for the first time in years. A total of 97% of participants reported life-changing relief from their tinnitus. The other 3% experienced significant improvements, though their symptoms hadn't fully resolved yet, and they were still overjoyed with the progress they'd made. I received emails, phone calls, and heartfelt messages from people overwhelmed with gratitude. This was it. We'd done it. We developed a natural, clinically proven treatment for addressing even the most stubborn and severe cases of tinnitus. After seeing the toll that relentless tinnitus took on my own husband, I've made it my mission to ensure that no one else ever has to endure the same suffering. This protocol works, and I'm thrilled to say that the alarming statistics about tinnitus are about to change forever. Remember, due to the neural excitotoxins in our modern environment, our auditory systems are being constantly overstimulated and overwhelmed every single day. This happens no matter where you live on Earth. It is inescapable. As a result, it's estimated that over 50 million Americans now live with chronic tinnitus, with cases rising every year. Today, things are finally about to change. With Dr. Elena Martinez's expertise, we've created a clinically proven and all-natural formula that will allow you to finally calm the noise and reclaim the peace and focus you deserve. With no medications, no invasive procedures, no masking devices, and you can start today. And we've called it aurisil, the one and only all-natural proprietary blend that targets the true cause of your tinnitus, neural excitotoxins. We've sourced all the purest, highest quality natural ingredients scientifically shown to combat tinnitus and promote auditory health. And we've combined them in exact quantities into a delicious gummy you can enjoy once a day. Every gummy is crafted here in the USA in our FDA-approved and GMP, good manufacturing practice, certified facility under the most sterile, strict, and precise standards. These gummies are non-GMO, safe, contain no dangerous stimulants or toxins, and are not habit-forming or tolerance-forming. Fixing your tinnitus with aurisil is simple and enjoyable, an easy addition to your daily routine. Yet, it's more effective than any masking device or sound therapy on the market. This formula is not only incredible for your auditory health, but also helps support a calm mind, improved focus, and overall well-being. And the best part is, there's no need for invasive procedures, medications, or cumbersome devices. Here we are, ready for you to finally enjoy the peace and quiet you've been longing for, and which you deserve. Over 100,000 people have already transformed their peace of mind, focus, and lives with aurisil. Take it now and achieve the same dramatic improvements in your auditory clarity and overall well-being that David and so many others have experienced. It really is that simple. And you can get access to everything in the next 90 seconds. So, if you're ready for something big, something new, something exciting, then it starts right here by you taking a stand and saying, "Yes, I'm ready for the change that aurisil can bring into my life." You need to ask yourself this. How much is it worth to you to have your friends amazed by how much more present and calm you've become? Asking you about your secret. How much is it worth to never feel like you're trapped by the constant noise in your head? Or to relieve your family from worrying about your struggle? To be back in full control of your mind and enjoy peaceful, quiet moments? Imagine that for a second. Really let yourself feel what that would be like. And then tell me, how much would that be worth? $5,000? $1,000? There's one undeniable truth I've learned time and time again. Even when you want something so desperately and know it's the opportunity of a lifetime, as someone who has spent so much of your life caring for others, sacrificing and giving endlessly, it can feel nearly impossible to focus on your own needs and allow yourself what you truly deserve. That's why I'm going to take a bold step here. Although Dr. Elena Martinez suggested pricing a 30-day supply of aurisil at $997, and many of our early users said they'd happily pay $797 after seeing their results. And although over 100,000 men and women who've tried aurisil would gladly pay triple after experiencing the peace and quiet they thought was gone forever, This isn't about money for me. I know what it's like to watch someone you love suffer. I know the fear, pain, and helplessness that comes with not being able to provide relief for them. I don't want that for you. I feel truly blessed to have discovered this breakthrough formula, and I want to share it with as many people as possible. So I'm not going to ask for $797, not even half of that, because the truth is, my goal here is simply to cover my costs and keep this website running as long as I can, so countless others can experience the same relief as David. I don't want price to stand in your way. That's why, even though the regular price of aurisil will soon be $99 per bottle, and considering that most customers find that it replaces costly supplements and sound devices that can add up to hundreds of dollars per month, today, because you're here, investing your time and trust, and because you're ready to take the step toward peace and clarity, you can secure a 30-day supply of aurisil for just $59. Yes, only $59 sound good to you? Take a moment now and make a decision for yourself and those you care about most. Look below and choose the package that works for you. Once you place your order, you'll be directed to a secure page to finalize your details. Simply fill in your payment information using a credit card, debit card, or PayPal. After confirming your order, your bottles of aurisil will be prepared and shipped directly to your door, free of charge. And if you're wise enough to opt for a 3 or 6 month package, we'll also include additional bonus bottles to enhance your experience at no extra cost. And yes, your purchase today is a one-time payment. There are no subscriptions, hidden fees, or surprises. We dislike those as much as you do. Don't wait. Select your package below while it's still available. Aurisil is exclusively offered on this page. It's not sold in stores or anywhere else online. This is your unique opportunity to claim this breakthrough formula. However, please be aware, bottles of aurisil are flying off the shelves. Your reserved stock is still available, but only for now. If you close this page, you may lose your reservation, and this exclusive opportunity might disappear forever. I don't want you to go through what David endured. Why take the risk when the solution is right here within reach? Make your choice now. Still uncertain if this will work for you? I completely understand. After years of misinformation, it's hard to trust that relief could be this simple. But let me assure you, the hearing health industry doesn't want you to know that there's an easy, natural way to calm the noise and restore peace of mind. Aurisil is your chance to break free from the cycle and experience the silence you've been longing for. So here's what I'm going to do. To prove to you that this formula works, and you have absolutely nothing to worry about, I'm going to give you a 60-day risk-free money-back guarantee. If you don't experience a dramatic improvement in your tinnitus, if you don't notice the noise fading day by day, if you don't feel calmer, more focused, and enjoy better sleep as your auditory clarity improves, or even if you simply change your mind for any reason at all, even if you use up the entire bottle and still want your money back, it won't be an issue. All you need to do is contact us within 60 days, and we will refund you the purchase price right away. That's right. We're giving you a full 2 months to decide. 2 months to test drive this breakthrough formula. And all you have to do to claim your discount and take advantage of this amazing deal is choose your package below right now. We'll cover 100% of the shipping cost to ship aurisil immediately to your doorstep. No hidden fees or subscriptions, just a safe and secure one-time simple fee. Aurisil is only available for purchase on this page, so choose below right now, and then see for yourself how easy it is to calm the relentless ringing and buzzing that has held you back for so long. How easy it is to address the root cause of tinnitus, restore your peace of mind, and reclaim your focus and clarity. And remember, your order is 100% protected by my 60-day money-back guarantee. If you want the absolute best value, I strongly recommend the 6-bottle package. Why? Because treating tinnitus is a long-term process. Neural excitotoxins take years to accumulate in your system, and fully addressing them requires consistency and time. The 6-bottle package ensures you stay on track without interruption. Additionally, ordering 6 bottles gives you the biggest savings per bottle and comes with free shipping, making it the most cost-effective option. Plus, many of our customers who commit to the 6-bottle plan report the most dramatic and lasting results. By choosing the 6-bottle package, you're setting yourself up for long-term success and finally breaking free from the cycle of noise and frustration. And then see for yourself how easy it is to calm the relentless ringing and buzzing and reclaim the peace of mind you've been longing for. How simple it is to address the root cause of tinnitus neutralize neural excitotoxins, and restore clarity and focus in your daily life. And remember, your order is 100% protected by my 60-day money-back guarantee. Okay, it's time to take action. You might not know it, but you're standing at an important crossroads in your life right now. And you really have two options, each leading to two very different futures. One, a life filled with clarity, calm, and focus, where you can enjoy quiet moments, connect deeply with loved ones, and savor the joy of peace. Where you're no longer shackled to masking devices, expensive therapies, or the constant fear of worsening symptoms. The other is simply a continuation of the life you have now. The endless ringing that interrupts your thoughts and robs you of joy. The frustration of not being able to escape the noise, no matter how hard you try. The uncertainty about what the future holds, and the worry that things will only get worse. I know you don't want that. The truth is, you deserve to experience relief. You deserve to take back control of your auditory health and live a life free from the grip of tinnitus. So why wait another day to make this change? Aurisil is your chance to break free, and the decision is yours to make right now. And remember, the average American will spend over $90,000 in their lifetime trying to manage their tinnitus with ineffective solutions. That's the financial cost of doing nothing. The human cost is immeasurable. Is that really a gamble you're willing to take? The truth is, I know you're tired of hearing the constant ringing and buzzing that interrupts every moment of your day, of pretending it doesn't bother you and that you're fine, even when it keeps you from focusing or enjoying your life, of longing to know what it feels like to finally enjoy peaceful silence again, free from the relentless noise. That's why I want you to take a moment to seriously consider option number 2. Because let's face it, this is the only real option you have. Investing in a one-time payment for aurisil today so you can put this breakthrough formula to the test, completely risk-free for 60 days. And imagine the transformation this could bring to your life. No more fear of worsening tinnitus. No more frustration from therapies or devices that fail to deliver results. No more lying awake at night, longing for the quiet you deserve. No more distractions pulling you away from the things you love most. Instead, you'll experience a life where peace is restored, where your mind is calm, and your focus is sharper than ever. It's the easier road to take because all it requires is making the choice to prioritize yourself and say yes today. Simply select your package below, enter your payment information on our secure order form before life gets in the way, and claim your chance to join the aurisil family. And every order comes with free shipping, no matter where you live. Click below now and see for yourself everything we've shared, and discover even more benefits we haven't even had the chance to mention. This is your chance to access the secret that helped David reclaim his life and escape the grip of tinnitus. Imagine waking up each morning and realizing the noise is gone. Imagine feeling refreshed, focused, and free, able to hear the world with clarity once again. More than 100,000 people have already experienced life-changing results with aurisil. Now it's your turn to join them. But don't wait. This opportunity won't last forever. Make the only choice that matters, both for yourself and your loved ones. Hit the button below and put aurisil to the test, completely risk-free for 60 days, and start living the peaceful life you've been waiting for. The only place to purchase aurisil is right here on this page. Click the order button below and I'll see you on the other side. Hey, still here? Great. I wanted to take a second to answer some of the most common questions I get about aurisil, because I want to make sure that you feel confident and comfortable with your decision to order today. So number 1 is aurisil right for me? I get this question a lot, and the answer is always the same. Do you experience persistent tinnitus? The ringing, buzzing, or whooshing that just won't stop? Because if that's you, then aurisil is absolutely the right choice. As we talked about earlier, the real problem is the presence of neural excitotoxins overstimulating your brain's auditory system. Aurisil is designed to help neutralize those disruptors and restore your peace of mind. Is aurisil safe? Aurisil has been used by thousands of people with no reported side effects. The only side effect is finally being able to enjoy quiet moments again and reconnecting with the sounds of life. And aurisil is a lot safer than invasive procedures, masking devices, or medications, because it works naturally with your body to address the root cause of tinnitus. Supporting your auditory health is the single most important thing you can do for long-lasting relief now and into the future. Aurisil is safer than your daily multivitamin. It's made with natural ingredients of the highest quality, manufactured at an FDA-inspected, state-of-the-art facility, using the latest technology. On top of that, every batch undergoes additional third-party testing to ensure the highest standards of safety and quality. And as always, if you have a medical condition or are taking other prescription medications, I advise you to consult with your doctor before starting aurisil, just to be safe. When should I take aurisil? For best results, take 1 gummy with a glass of water in the evening to support relaxation and promote restful sleep. Aurisil works with your body to naturally calm hyperactive auditory signals, leaving you refreshed, focused, and enjoying life again. What if it doesn't work for me? Can you tell me more about the guarantee? I'm confident that aurisil will provide the relief you need to target tinnitus at its source, but I also know that no two people's experiences are exactly the same. A small number of people might find it doesn't deliver all the benefits they were hoping for. That's why every single bottle of aurisil comes with my personal 60-day 100% money-back guarantee. If for any reason you're unsatisfied with your results, simply return what you haven't used for a full, no questions asked refund. What if my tinnitus improves too quickly? This is an interesting question I've been asked a few times. The results we've seen so far have been incredible. If you find the quiet comes back too fast, we recommend adjusting your intake to every other day instead of daily, and always consult with your doctor. Aurisil is an extremely powerful natural formula. Even with that in mind, we encourage you to embrace the journey at a steady pace to ensure long-term success. I know it can be exhilarating to finally experience relief after years of struggle, and you may want to push for more. But it's important to pair aurisil with a healthy lifestyle, ensuring the best possible results over time. I'm truly excited to hear your success story, and I want to thank you for sticking with me to learn about this groundbreaking new tool for tinnitus relief. I hope I've answered any remaining questions, and by now, I hope I've given you the confidence to order your own supply of aurisil today. You can go ahead and do that by simply choosing your package below and completing your aurisil order now. Remember, shipping is 100% free. I personally recommend our most popular 3 or 6 bottle package for the best value. Those also come with bonus bottles included for even greater savings. So just click the button below, complete your checkout, and I'll be with you every step of the way as you embark on your journey to a quieter, more peaceful life.